Hi guys, welcome back to episode 4 of Not to Be a Hater. Hi Julia, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing very, very good.
Good, I'm glad. So yeah, we've got a few hot topics and things to talk about, so we'll just jump in. I'm going to go with some marketing topics of the week. Now these are some of them's like a couple of weeks old, but it's not really been picked up. The other ones are very new. So we've got Southwestern Railway, and they've done a really cool campaign in London in the south, obviously. And it's Abuse Stays with Their Staff. So it was created by the creative agency St. Luke's. I don't know if you've seen them. They do some really cool stuff. Like, really cool
I
stuff.
think I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're quite big, I think, as well. And it was ran across poster sites on the railway, like in the carriages, things like that. And it was also ran across billboards in the south and the southwest of England from the 4th of March. But obviously, they've just been picked up because, obviously, your campaign doesn't show results instantly. So I've got some things on the brief that they got. So the brief, apparently,
Hmm.
I'm just going to say apparently because I've not seen it. So encouraged to create a campaign highlighting the abuse that railways workers tackle on a day-to-day basis. So obviously, like railway abuse, like trains being cancelled, we all know the frustration of that. It's the most frustrating thing on earth. But
Hmm.
obviously, don't take it out on railway workers. Like, see if you're one of those people, you're just like no, just don't do that.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
Yeah, it's not their fault. They're just trying to do a job.
Yeah.
So the campaign was like all about how this in the long term impacts them and how it the abuse stays with them. And it was filmed. I was going to say it was, yeah, it's filmed. It was filmed through like a POV of doing tasks. There's a few variations of the billboard, and it's someone getting home, someone taking a shower, someone making a cup of tea, and it's on the bottle of the shower one. I'll post a picture when we do the topics for the Instagram, and it's on the picture it gives a bit of hate. So there was one on the, what do you call that, the floor mat,
The bath
and
mat.
it was you stupid cow, and obviously somebody had been called that. Sorry, it was you dumb cow. And it was the workers obviously coming home, and it's to showcase that how that abuse stays with railway workers, regardless of where you work in the railway. Like any form of abuse, you take it home with you, essentially. And it's a really creative campaign. It's really, really cool.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
So I would recommend for you to go and check it out. I'll obviously post and I'll send you them as well, but they're really, really creative, the way they've done it. The copy's really cool. Um yeah, it's a cool campaign. I love it.
No,
This is my,
that's really creative and like interesting for like are they a big railway
I think so, yeah. I
company?
think they're one of the
So
biggest
I feel
ones.
like
I
I've
think,
not heard of them. Not to be a
yeah,
hater, but
see,
I've not heard of them.
yeah, I think it's different, and I'm not a railway expert, obviously, but I think they they're one of the biggest train operators in England. I think I'm
So
certain
they're
on
like
that.
the
I'm not
English
sure.
ScotRail.
Yeah, they're the equivalent
Yeah,
of the English ScotRail. Yeah, basically. And
that's cool.
yeah, they do a lot of cool campaigns. I think they got a new marketing manager and stuff, and I think they do quite cool campaigns now. I've never heard of them before. I've never seen a campaign from them before, but this one's really creative. It's really cool. The creative direction that they've took is really
Yeah,
unique,
that's a
and
cool
it actually
campaign.
when you look at it, you're like, oh my god, that makes so much sense. You do take that abuse home with you, from if you were in work or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah. It's very emotive. Like I like a
yeah,
campaign that sort of I don't know, it's quite gritty as well to
mhm,
have these like hateful words on like a billboard
yeah,
or wherever, but like shows you the realities and it kind of like helps people open their eyes to the abuse that like railway workers face. I think I've seen like a few other campaigns in the past few years that are kind of like showing the realities of things and like the copy really like yeah, it's quite like gritty and
mhm,
shows the truth behind things and it's yeah,
yeah,
I mean yeah, emotive is how I'd describe it and I like that. I like a campaign that packs a punch.
yeah. I mean, the moral of the story is, guys, see if you are going on public transport, just be nice to people. Don't be horrible. See if you're one of those people that takes it out on rail workers or any worker retail, just you're an asshole. Just don't do it. Just
Yeah.
don't do it. It's horrible.
Don't be a hater.
don't be a
We might
hater.
be
There we
haters
go.
on this podcast, but don't be an actual hater to people in real
Yeah,
life because that's horrible.
yeah.
Don't be an
I
actual hater.
don't be an
Be a
actual
hater at
hater. Yeah.
heart, but don't hate in real life. I had a bit of a hater moment this morning. I was on LinkedIn and there is an agency that I will not name. But every time I go on LinkedIn, they're showing like all of these amazing campaigns that they're doing with like massive clients. And I'm always like, how the fuck are you getting these clients? Like, you guys are a bunch of assholes. How are you doing this? So that's my
Yeah.
little hater moment where I was like, oh my God, like, it really shows you that the bad guys win in life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's another thing, like a subtopic. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I feel as if like I need to now because you brought up like LinkedIn. Like, do you not get LinkedIn like envy? You go on people and it's like, I'm happy to announce that I'm like the fucking senior marketing manager, finance officer, and you're like, oh my god, wow, and you're just like, I wish that was me. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's such a big thing. Like I've seen a few posts on TikTok of it as well, and it's just like I think everybody goes on LinkedIn to brag about themselves, and like
Yeah, I mean, that's the point of it though, is like, that's kind of what
yeah,
LinkedIn is for.
it's kind of like professional development, but it's like
Yeah.
people and they're like people are like, yeah, oh my god, I'm like the senior marketing fucking digital marketing SEO officer, and you're like, what? Like, what is that title? Also, titles like in marketing. Have you noticed this as well? Like, they're getting more and more creative.
I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I think
Yeah,
most people just make up titles. Because I was thinking
yeah,
of like our podcast, like what would I say that I am to this podcast? And I was like, would I say I'm like a founder? Am I a co-founder? Am I a
yeah,
host, co-host? Am I the social media manager? Am I
yeah.
the podcast editor? Because like
Because
kind of
yeah,
doing it
If you
all.
don't know, Julia edits these podcasts very well, may I add. But yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, yeah, what do you put on like this? Because obviously it's like a double thing that we're doing. Like it'd be like co-founder, co-host. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like this in other industries because obviously we're so familiar with marketing because it's what
Hmm.
we are in. But I feel like everyone just makes up titles. I don't think
Oh
any of
yeah.
them are real.
No.
So,
Totally. I have a quick marketing campaign that I think it was only released like this week, and it was from KFC. So
hmm.
I think it's called Workplace Appropriate Wraps. I tried to find a name for it, but like they're not really like shown like have a name for it. It's not released. So it was developed by the London agency. I don't know if you've seen the London agency. Some of the stuff they do is
I think I've heard of them,
unreal.
yeah.
Like yeah, unreal. So it was basically a campaign aimed to showcase their new wrap ranges and meal deals that they're doing at KFC. So I'll just tell you what's in it. Are you a KFC girly? Oh no, you're not. You're vegetarian.
No. I'm not. I'm
um,
veggie turned vegan turned veggie, so no, I don't
yeah.
frequent KFC at all.
Oh god, that was funny. So yeah, it includes a twister wrap, crisps, cookie, and a drink for $5.49. So basically, they were trying to get like this
That's
around
a good
like the
deal,
UK.
right?
Yeah,
That's
five
yeah.
forty nine, not bad. So it consists of so it's like two main 30-second adverts, and we see a barber and like a masseur taking. It's like they're taking inappropriate lunch breaks while doing a job. So like the guy's like shaving this guy, and then he just goes over and like pulls out this meal deal and like starts eating it. And basically the tagline is workplace appropriate where finger licking is not. I think that is genius because obviously KFC's finger licking good, so they're trying to
Yeah.
like create like
That's quite
a
cheeky.
alternative tagline, yeah. And if you watch it, it's so like it's so like weirdly funny. Like I'll tag it when we're posting this, and it's so funny. I really recommend that everybody goes and watches it because it is it's really good. Like when I watched it and I seen it on TV first, and I was like, that is such a good campaign. I actually took a picture of it and was like, I'm going to speak about this on the podcast. So it definitely will create some sort of conversion, like whether it's like people like brand awareness, people going to buy the meal deal. It's like definitely people will be like, oh my god, that is a cool campaign. But
That's a good
also, it
campaign. I
came
like that.
out yeah, it came out at a time where also KFC were in the scan. It was like in a sort of scandal. I don't know if you've seen
Oh,
this.
were
So
they?
Yeah, so basically they filmed an ad in a Camden Town library and basically changed the library into a KFC. And obviously loads of people are being like, well, people need access to like libraries and like obviously there's like computers and things. And apparently like it blew up on social media and people were really annoyed that KFC changed this thing into like a like an ad, and yeah, they got a lot of hate and backlash for it.
Not to be
I
a
just think
hater, but I think that's stupid to give hate
yeah.
to a brand for
No,
that.
no, no.
Like,
I agree. Like when you read
yeah,
about it, you were like, what's the big deal? Like the library was still open throughout the ad shoot.
yeah,
So I don't know what people are complaining. Obviously, I know like changing the front of it, and it's like a moral thingy. Like they're trying to advertise maybe like younger people who are in libraries and things like that. But I don't know. I just think,
yeah. I don't think it's a big deal, but it's nice to see that they like redeemed themselves with like a fun campaign.
yeah,
So that's nice. I like that. Yeah, not a
yeah.
fan of KFC. I don't think I've ever been at all in my life,
And do you know
but
something? I'm
it's
not a fan
nice.
of KFC either. Like, it would not be a place I'd consider to go and eat. To be completely honest, I'm a Nando's girly, but not a KFC person myself.
I have kind of a food thing to talk about as well. So I wanted to talk
Fun.
about some rebrands because
Oh,
I think it was just on my mind recently with the Pepsi
mm,
rebrand, and I will talk
yeah.
about that. But since we're talking about food places, I want to talk about Yupon, which is
Mhm.
a lovely restaurant in Glasgow, and
Mhm.
I love Yupon. Yupon's like my go-to at the moment. It's just
Yeah.
delicious stuff. But I started ordering from them in like January maybe, or like end of January, and I didn't realize that that was when they started rebranding. And
Oh,
I looked
okay.
on their Instagram or like on their website, and they have done a full rebrand. Like they have completely turned around their brand.
That's
And I
so
really
cool.
like the current branding. I think it's kind of what drew me into them because I hadn't really heard of them. And then I was doing research for college
Mhm.
for different Japanese restaurants for the project that we're doing.
I think we know what we're
And
talking about.
and I saw their website and I was like, this looks amazing actually. This looks really good.
Yeah.
It's very like modern and I'll show it to you later. I'll put it in the Instagram
Yeah. Yeah.
post.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just very modern and very colorful and so like bright and lively. And their previous branding was very like authentic, Japanese, traditional.
Mhm.
And even like they changed their logo, they changed all of their packaging. I think they're still switching over to the new packaging because I've
Right.
gotten
Okay.
like
Yeah.
the older packaging a few times. And then like I've had like one tub that is the old packaging and one tub that's the new
Oh,
packaging. And I'm
that's
like,
so
I am
cool.
so
Yeah.
glad that they've rebranded because I think it's going to be a game changer for them on like the
Mhm.
Glasgow food scene because they're just
Yeah.
like,
Totally.
I don't know,
They're bringing
they're
themselves into like
based,
a new era sort of thing.
yeah, exactly. And they're based like right between our college and I think Strathclyde Uni or like
Mhm.
in that sort of like student district. So it
Yeah.
makes sense that they're sort of
Oh God, they
going
have
for a
really
much
good
younger
positioning.
feel.
They have
Yeah,
really good positioning.
so yeah, I think the rebrand has worked wonders for them, and I think it will
Mm.
continue to work wonders. And I think they've got like a new social media manager as well, so
Love
a
that.
lot of like the content that they're making is just looking a bit better, a bit more appealing. And honestly, I really like it. It makes me like want to eat out even more often with them,
Yeah.
which I already do.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I already do
No, that's
because I
like
really
me.
like their food. But it's yeah, it's a really nice brand, and I like the rebrand. I like a good rebrand. Which
Yeah. See, when it's done
moving
really
on to
well, you're
Pepsi.
like, oh yeah.
Moving on to the Pepsi rebrand, I don't think that's a good rebrand. I'm not super
No.
happy with it. No,
What would
I
you
don't like how
change?
they've done it. They've like I don't know because they've obviously rebranded like their logo is the main
Mm-hmm.
thing, but also their packaging has changed.
Yeah.
But the switch over to the new packaging in shops has been really slow. So like there's still some cans and bottles with the old packaging, and then there's
Right.
some with the
Okay.
new.
Yeah.
Kind of how I was saying with Yupon, but with Yupon like it made sense and it was nice to see. But now
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't know. I just don't like it. I find
Yeah.
it unappealing. I find it a bit boring. And I mean the cans look fine. I don't know if the listeners have seen this at all or if you've seen this, but the old packaging it was just kind of like what I knew Pepsi to be. And this
Yeah.
new
It's
one,
like
they're
that.
going for a
Yeah.
sort of
Mm-hmm.
like retro sort of thing with these like polka dots and these different
Yeah.
colors. And it does look nice in theory, but I think it's an unnecessary rebrand.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
So
you wonder what was going through like the marketing team's head when they think like we need to rebrand, because it's not as if their sales are being affected. They're like, I think they're
no,
bigger than Coca Cola, or they're definitely on par with Coca Cola. So it's like, what do you need to rebrand for? Like, I get obviously
yeah,
keeping like the brand image fresh and like appealing, but it's like
I don't
it's
think it
a
was necessary at
FMCG.
all.
It's like you don't need to, like, it's like a bar of chocolate. I mean, I know obviously like, but if you said it like that, you'd be like, well, what's the point in rebranding anything when you think about it? I think like they didn't really need to rebrand. To be fair, I have an opposite opinion. I think that the rebrand, they've done it quite well. I like the new logo, but I think there's a big move now with brands like oversimplifying everything. Have you noticed this? Like everybody's
Yeah,
going backwards and
no,
everything's
absolutely.
being so simplified now, and it's like, yeah, it looks maybe like more aesthetically pleasing, but it's like, give me something to look at. Like everything's so simple now. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know how
think
I
that's the
feel
thing
about it.
with the new Pepsi cans. It's just they're so boring. Because the old one, it
Yeah.
had like this nice like swoosh of, because I drink Pepsi Max Lime, so it had like the green swoosh and it had a little like lime wedge, and it looked really like appealing and tasty. And now it's just these polka dots, and like each
hmm
flavor has different color polka dots, which makes sense and it's like recognizable. But I feel like it's really boring.
Have you seen the huge billboards that they've been doing everywhere with the new rebrand? Like if you walk about Glasgow, they're everywhere. So if you go
I've
into
seen
like
the
Queen
advert.
Street in
Yes, I have
Central,
seen that actually. Yeah,
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 and
because
they're like
there's
huge
one near
everywhere.
the cinema. There's one near the cinema, and then Cineworld have like, I think they have a deal with Pepsi because they serve Pepsi
Right.
drinks, and they
Okay.
also have a Pepsi advert right before the movie starts. It's
Mm,
like the prime spot for advertising at the cinema. And recently, it's been like the rebrand advert, which has all the, I think it's these little like drones or whatever that are in the sky
yeah.
lighting up the
Uh-huh.
Pepsi logo, which I don't like. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of it. I don't like Pepsi's advertising. Like I like
No.
Pepsi's products, but I don't like their advertising, and I don't
Mm,
think I ever have. I prefer Coca Cola's advertising. I think it's
yeah.
a lot more sophisticated. Pepsi are
Yeah.
just, I don't know. They need to step up their game, and maybe
I
they
might
are
need
with
to
this
do
rebrand.
some.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I might need to do some further research about why they rebranded. I just want to know why they done it. Like, what was the reasoning behind it? Because I think their old branding was good. I mean, this one, do you know what? I think I'm more indifferent about this one. I don't really love it, but I don't hate it either. And I think probably a lot of people will be in the same shoes, like especially consumers, where they're like, yeah, it's changed, but I'm still going to buy it because I know that I like the formula of the drink and whatever. Obviously, like what
Yeah.
you were saying, like you would still buy it because you like the taste and whatever. But yeah, it's odd how they've just all of a sudden decided to rebrand. Like it was, I don't think it was really advertised that like, oh, they were like an aging brand, they need like rebranded or whatever, or they were losing sales or whatever. Because I think they're doing well. So yeah, funny that. I've got a quick thing. It's not really big because I don't have a lot of notes on it, but it was, I don't know if you've seen it, the Lidl and Tesco copyright battle.
No.
So there was a legal battle. This has been going on since 2020. So I think it was before COVID or just when COVID had started. And obviously, you know, Tesco Club Card has like the sort of like branding of it. It's like yellow and blue. And it's got like
Yeah.
Club Card price in the middle or whatever it's got. And yeah, Lidl took them to court over the copyright battle because if you know their logo, it's also yellow and blue. And
Hmm.
the court favoured Lidl twice, and it went to the High Court, so it went to one of the highest courts in like the UK, and basically the court said that Tesco essentially copied the brand's logo and like used it for their club card stuff. And I just wanted to quickly touch on that. Like, it's kind of a problem, but I would say it's sort of like a problem in marketing, like overall, and how you need to be so careful with what sort of colours and logos and
Yeah.
things like if you're creating things, like you need to be so careful because like the Tesco club card thing isn't essentially, it's not like a logo, it's more just like a bit of marketing collateral. It's not like it, I know it
Uh
stands
huh.
on itself, but it's not like a logo, so it's not directly copying it because it's not showcasing a brand, it's just club card. But yeah, apparently they're going to have to change all their stuff. So in the next few weeks, all your club card things are going to look different, and you might get new little cards and badges and things. Yeah,
That's really interesting because I feel
yeah,
like Tesco probably did that on purpose with like the association of, we're doing this club card price, it's cheaper, so people are going to think, oh, the colors remind me of Lidl or Aldi
yeah,
even have like similar colors
yeah.
and be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, so that's going to be cheaper. But I don't agree that they should be like getting sued over it or have to change it because it's not. I don't
Yeah,
know. I feel
it's
like that's
weird.
a bit
It's a
unfair.
weird one. Yeah.
It's like calling the caterpillar thing, but obviously not the
Mm.
same because that was a direct copy and like. But even then, I don't think that they
Yeah,
should
they
have been
shouldn't have.
sued or anything.
Yeah, they shouldn't have like
But for this
copied it.
especially, I don't understand it. Like I yeah, I don't think Tesco are in the wrong for that. And I
Mm-hmm.
understand Lidl wanting to sue them to sort of,
Yeah,
because they feel that they've copied them. And it's smart marketing on Tesco's part to do that with the colours and the colour
yeah, definitely.
association.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's similar enough that they need to change it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Yeah, no,
opinion
I'm
though. Not to
I'm
be a
sort of in the
hater,
same
but
boat.
what the fuck, Lidl?
What? Yeah, what the fuck? What are you doing? But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting topic. It's
No,
a
it's
weird one.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today and listening to Not to Be
Thank
a
you.
Hater.
Yeah.
Make sure to follow us on social media where we post awesome things. We have loads
Yeah.
of fun over there. We have
We
loads
do.
of fun
Yeah.
here and over there. So, yeah, thank you so much for listening to today's episode and see
Thanks,
you
guys.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Slay.